"When are you leaving, Dad?" He didn't even look at me when he said it, just stared at the thermostat like it had personally done him wrong. "We're kind of full this year. Emma's parents are coming, the kids won't have space." I glanced at the dining table, 12 chairs, the same one I bought for him and his wife when they moved into this house, my house once. I paid the down payment. I hung that chandelier myself. I looked back at him, but he wouldn't meet my eyes. I just nodded. No anger, no tears, just truth. "I'll go." The drive home was silent. No music, just the low hum of the tires and my thoughts shifting around like loose change in a jar. "No room." That's what he said. I changed his diapers in the back seat of my old Corolla. I held him through a 104-degree fever, watching his chest rise and fall all night because I was afraid if I blinked he'd stop breathing. And now I was an inconvenience, a scheduling conflict. The next morning, I ate breakfast alone. No grandkids rushing up the driveway, no wrapping paper, no cinnamon in the air, just silence. Then my phone buzzed. 18 missed calls, all from him. Let me back up. 2 years ago his business crashed. Loans, lawsuits, taxes. He called me crying, said the bank was going to take everything. I didn't even think twice, sold half my retirement, liquidated 2 properties, wired him $280,000. "No contract, Dad?" he asked. I smiled. "Family doesn't need paper." He cried then, hugged me like he was 10 again. I should have known better. It started slow after that. Fewer calls. Holidays got too busy. He began correcting me in front of his kids, like I'd forgotten how to hold a baby or cook pasta. Then one summer afternoon, I overheard his wife whisper through the kitchen wall, "He needs boundaries. He still thinks this is his house." That's when the clock started ticking. I spent 6 months getting ready. Saving every text, every email, every bank record tied to that loan, had it all legally documented with timestamps and witnesses through an old law firm I'd once sent plenty of clients to. I checked the house title. They'd refinanced, using my money as collateral. Idiots. The day after he told me there was no room, I called their lender, sent my documents, and filed an official lien. Then I made my move, sold my cabin in Vermont, hired a private equity scout to quietly buy their mortgage from the bank. It took 45 days, but money talks. And now I owned their debt. On Christmas morning, while they laughed around that same table, I signed the foreclosure papers. "Merry Christmas, son." When he showed up at my door, eyes wild, shirt half tucked, I was already sipping tea on the porch. "You can't do this," he shouted, voice cracking. I tilted my head. "I already did. This is my home, my kids." I cut him off with a look. "Where was that concern when you said there wasn't room for me?" He froze. Then anger kicked in. "You said family doesn't need paper." "I also said family doesn't forget," I told him, standing up. "But you did. They begged, said they'd repay the loan. But it wasn't about the money. That debt wasn't just dollars, it was respect. And he defaulted on both. 2 months later, they were gone. I didn't keep the house. I leased it to a nice couple from out of state, used the rent to rebuild my savings, and bought myself a quiet little place by the coast. Every so often, I see photos online. Their new apartment, smaller, no yard. They still smile, but there's something missing behind it now. And every Christmas since, I get one card in the mail. No return address. Just a child's drawing and the word sorry. I frame each one and hang them beside the fireplace. Reminders that forgiveness has to be earned. My son's still learning what family really means. In the end, he thought Christmas was about tables and chairs, but he forgot about the man who built the house around them. When he told me to leave, he didn't realize he was the one being written out.